We are in the kitchen today, and I am with Katie with Pickwick and Cherry, who's going to be teaching me how to decorate some sugar cookies. So first off, thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolutely, this is so fun.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So this is a skill that I just do not have. It is not in my repertoire, so I am super excited to learn from you today.
That's fair. And the thing you always have to remember is the ugliest cookie is still a cookie.
Yes.
You get to eat it.
So it's delicious.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, perfect. So let's go ahead and get started. So
Okay.
what do we need to do first?
Okay, so the first thing we need to do is something we did before I got here, which is we need to make royal icing. Royal icing is a meringue stabilized frosting, so it's the stuff that you see on cookies that gets nice and hard and shiny. If you want a soft frosting on a cookie, that's buttercream, and that's a whole other set of skills. So the first thing you want is you want to have the right materials. There are two basic consistencies of royal icing. There's a stiff variety, which is also called outline, and there's another one called flood, or like fill in, basically. So one is runny, one is not runny. We're working with the runny ones today,
Okay.
living in an exciting way. The other thing we need is we need sugar cookies. We bake ours a little bit darker than a lot of people because color is flavor, and they taste better. We've done taste tests with a gajillion people, and as it turns out, people like their cookies a little bit browner. So we do it that way.
Okay.
So assuming you got some royal icing and you've got some cookies, then we get to the decorating skills part. The first and most important thing is, how do you hold a pastry bag? Actually, the first and most important thing is, how do you get the frosting into a pastry bag? And the answer is, you got to roll it down to get into it. Otherwise, it's going to be trying to close on you and you end up with goop everywhere. You don't want goop everywhere. So once you get your stuff in the pastry bag, you're going to squish it down and then you twist it. And the key here is that this twist is going to provide most of the pressure in the bag.
Okay.
And when it keeps it nice and full. So then all I have to do is just squeeze just a tiny bit with these fingers so that it comes out, and I don't have to squeeze hard, because when you squeeze hard, your hands shake. And that is a lot of the problem.
Okay.
The other thing I see people do a lot of times is they will squeeze here from the middle, and as you can see, the frosting is going mostly up. That's how you end up with armpit full of frosting, which is not as fun as you might imagine. In our classes, we always, we go through the twist. If you're right-handed, this should be your right hand. If you're left-handed, etc. This hand is just for stabilization. And in my classes, when I do this, I always make people raise their non-dominant hand and take the following oath. This is not my squeezing hand.
This is not my squeezing hand.
Not my squeezing hand. Because people really want to squeeze. Don't squeeze. So the other thing you got to know about a pastry bag, at least with royal icing, is this is a gravity-fed device. This is not an ink pen. So if you try to hold it like a pencil or something, again, armpit full of frosting. No fun. Now we're going to go to my favorite cookie to decorate, and we decorate a lot of different designs of cookies, but these turkeys are my favorite.
All right. They are super cute.
They are super cute, and I'm going to do one, and then you're going to do one.
All right. Sounds great.
Okay. Get your squeezing hand ready. Okay. I'm going to start with some brown and just fill him in. And when you're doing this, especially if you know you're going to be adding a lot of other color to it, you want to make sure that you're not overfilling the cookie, or the whole design will run off and kind of look like a Dali painting, which, if you're into that kind of thing, is great. So I'm just kind of adding squiggles, and then I don't use a tool or anything for this. I just kind of use the tip of the bag to fill it in a little bit, like that.
You make it look so easy.
Yeah, I always say that my cookies look good until you try it, and then they look amazing. Okay. Incidentally, when you put the pastry bag down, put it on its butt so that it can't leak on the floor.
Okay.
All right, so now we've got a bunch of other colors that we're going to incorporate. And with royal icing, the cool thing about it is that if this is wet and the thing you put on top of it's wet, it will self-level, and the pattern will go right down into the cookie. If you're doing that with stiff icing, different ball of wax. But in this particular case, so I can just lay down, and then I'll come back to the red for his waddle. We're going to lay down some stripes. The yellow, that's orange. And we'll give him a nice orange beak and some orange feet while we're at it.
Perfect.
Yeah, the feet tend to snap off. Cookie, I have some real feelings about how certain cookie cutters are designed. I feel like you have never used this cutter, friend.
So you offer classes where you teach not only cookie decorating, but you teach a lot of
everything. Yeah, so we have a bunch of cookie decorating classes coming up in December. We're doing a Cookies of the World class coming up, which is kind of fun.
Okay.
We are doing holiday baking traditions, which is some of the like big stuff from all over the world for Christmas. And then once we get into January, we have bread classes, we have chocolate making classes, we have eclairs and croissants, and then we also do our date night cooking dinners, which are super fun and extremely popular, and he needs an eyeball.
Yes, my fiance and I actually took one of the date night cooking classes.
Which one did you come to?
We went to, I believe it was Greek.
Oh, I love Greek.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. It was really good. We had a great time.
Okay, that's amazing. Here is the bingo on the turkey. So what we're going to do now is we've got all of our stripes on here, and he looks fine, you know. But this is a nice turkey. But I'm going to take a toothpick or a skewer or whatever you happen to have lying around, and go like that.
Magic.
And that gives you those nice kind of fantail feathers, and we'll do that. And like that, and look at that guy.
Amazing. That looks fantastic.
Okay.
All right.
You're on the spot.
It won't be near as good. So,
I
okay,
believe in
so twist and then
Yeah, so you hold it between these two fingers.
hold it. Okay, there we
Yeah,
go.
and then squeeze from the top.
Okay, I'm gonna go with this guy here.
Okay.
And squeeze from the top,
Squeeze from the top, straight up and down.
straight up and down.
Yeah.
All right, so then I started filling up the cookie with the brown frosting and then painted on the colors for the tail. And then we grabbed the little stick tool to make the feathers, and it turned out not too bad.
Look at those.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, we're
not
halfway
too
to a
bad.
flag. Not
All right.
too shabby. You should feel good about that.